Hi, welcome to HATV. It's Scott Laird and
Melody Horde.
Nice to see you again. And today we are going to do something that revolves around juicing. Because when we juice, I mean, that's a cornerstone of the Hallelujah diet, right?
Oh, yes.
And you always get a question. What's that question?
What do I do with all the pulp? Of course, Scott, the good part has already been taken out. Once you juice it, you've gotten your money's worth, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what we're about to do here is to take some of that pulp and actually get a bonus product out of it. And so what you can do, some people use the pulp to put in their compost heap or things of that nature. Some people give it to their neighbors who have chickens and the chickens eat it or whatever.
Or dogs.
Or the dogs or whatever. But what we have here really is just ground pieces of vegetable from your juicer. That's really all it is. And it's just a nice dry pulp. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a bread out of it. We've dubbed it Pulp Fixin's bread. So that's what we're going to do. And the recipe is fairly simple. What you need is just some pulp, and then you have some flaxseed and some water and oil and things to bind it together.
Give it some flavor.
Exactly, and give it some flavor, and that is exactly what we're going to do. So without further ado, we're going to get started.
Well, before we get going, I would just like to taste this and see if there's any flavor left in the pulp, okay?
Sure, go ahead.
I'd like to see if it's sweet or anything.
Anything left in there? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's just a hint of sweetness actually
good.
left. I can see how people say their dogs enjoy eating that. It's pretty good. There is something left in there.
Well, we're going to make something better than for the dogs. Okay. Something for ourselves. Now, what you want to do is if you don't have a Vitamix or a Blend-Tec, we have a Blend-Tec at home, and we did this a couple of days ago with an amount twice this much. And it kind of taxed even our Blend-Tec. So what you want to do is put the liquids in first. That way it has the blade has something to grab onto and bring everything down without getting overly stuck at first. So let's do that first. Let's add our water. We have approximately half a cup of water.
Okay.
So we're going to put that. Oh, pardon me, 1 cup. 1 cup that is. You can use almond milk too if you want. We also have 1.5 tablespoons of tamari.
Okay.
Put that in there, and the oil is olive oil. We used sesame oil at home a few days ago to test this, and it was very good, but we have olive oil here today. Use 1/4 to 1/2 cup. We'll pour in about half of this, and if we need more, we'll put some in later. You don't want to add more water to the mixture, because what that does, it makes it too dry. It's almost like a papyrus or something if you use no oil. So you want to add some oil to add some pliability to this when it's done.
Right.
That's the reason we do that. Now we'll add in the rest of our ingredients. We have 1 clove of garlic. We have 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we have about 1/4 cup of flax seeds. Not ground flax seeds, but whole flax seeds. They'll get ground in here.
Okay.
Do that. And then we have 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast as well. And
more pulp.
Yeah, and then what we have here, we have 2 cups of the juicing pulp. And this pulp is actually for making homemade almond milk. And so it's just ground up almonds.
I'm going to taste that too.
And it gives kind of a nice sweet flavor as well, kind of an amaretto type taste.
Well, it does. That little bit of an almond twist to it.
Yeah. So we're going to add that in there too. And so add that. Add this. Add our pulp.
Got a little celery pulp in there.
Yeah, we have celery and some kale in here too. We'll put that all in there. And we will start our Vitamix Turbo Blend VS. Here we go. Start it low, bring it up. It doesn't take much. Oh, don't have the lid quite on there. We should do that, shouldn't we? Now you can see with that thick mixture that it was moving the Vitamix around, and that's a heavy machine. So it's a thick mixture. The consistency you want in the end is almost like an oatmeal. And that way you'll be able to spread it out on your caliper tray, and that'll be the best consistency. So let's do that. Take this up here.
Very similar to flax bread when you're making any type
or an onion bread, a flax, yeah, any of that kind of thing. This is the exact same type of thing. So we'll just put this out on here. We won't use all of it at this point. We're just going to put some on one tray. What you want to do is spread it out till it's about, I don't know, what do you do for onion bread? About 1/4 inch thick?
1/4.
Okay.
Right.
You don't want to make it too thin. Unless you want crackers, and then you should make it thin if you want to make crackers out of it. Otherwise, it'll be a thin pita type bread when you're done. So depending on what you want, that's what you do.
And you don't want it falling apart, so you got to keep a little bit of depth to it.
Right. So now you can see we're spreading it out here, and a good idea is to spread it out in a circle, because as my wife mentioned, she said, well, what if you want to make it into a pizza crust? Because you can just basically dehydrate it and put it in the freezer, and anytime you want to make a raw pizza, just bring it on out. So I might as well make it look like a pizza crust while you're preparing it. Okay, great.
Is that good?
That's great. So what we'll do is we'll put it in the dehydrator, and just like that, slide it into your dehydrator, leave it in there for about 8 hours. After 8 hours, you'll have something that looks a bit like this. Now, you're not done yet, because what we want to do is, see, we have the Teflex sheet underneath, so that means that right underneath here it's not getting dry. So you want to be able to flip it over to do that. What you do is just put another tray on top with the mesh, flip it, and not let it scoot out like that. And it won't. It'll be more moist than this is. This one's practically done. And then it'll be like this, and you put it in for about another 4 hours, and it comes out looking just like that.
Okay.
So now, what we have is a finished product there. You can see it's a little bit pliable, almost like a pizza roll or something, or a pizza dough, something to that effect. And actually tastes pretty good. Why don't we have a little taste?
Let's have a taste and see if it tastes better than the pulp by itself. Of course, with all the tamari, the flax seeds, nutritional yeast, it's going to have a richer flavor.
Yeah. It's not bad. And you know, you can put any kind of your favorite herb or seasoning in there and make it taste however you want. You want it nice and hot or mild or sweet or savory, whatever you like.
Put some onions in there, some herbs. I did have a couple I met recently that came by. They had traveled here from California, and they had done the same thing, and she had thrown a few pumpkin seeds in there and just whatever she had in the house, she just threw it in there, and that's what they traveled with when they got hungry on the road, wanted something to nibble on. They got that out and crunched on it, and enjoyed it quite much.
All right. Well, there you go. Pulp Fixin's bread. Look for it on our recipe page at hacres.com. Thank you for watching HATV. I'm Scott Laird with Melody Horn.